Good Wednesday evening, Southwest Arkansas. Welcome back to Southwest Arkansas weather here on December the 25th. Merry Christmas to you all. In today's video, we're going to break down the severe weather outlook for tomorrow. Also go over the pattern, what's going on above us for severe weather and what's going against the severe weather chances come tomorrow. So starting off first, we're going to take a look at the Storm Prediction Center severe weather outlook. And as you can see, there's a little bit of a change since we last talked yesterday here on YouTube. You can see we now have a slight risk, that yellow colored area for the Arkadelphia, Hope, Delight, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Locksburg, Foreman, Ashdown, Texarkana, Magnolia, Camden, Prescott, Arkadelphia, Fordyce, El Dorado areas there. That yellow colored area, that's a 2 out of 5 on the severe weather scale. That also goes a little further south as well, but we'll get to that here in just a moment. Outside of that slight risk, you have a 1 out of 5 on the severe weather scale, which that is your darker green colored area, which is a marginal risk. That goes for Mena, DeQueen, Glenwood, Derricks, Hot Springs, Mount Ida, Malvern, and Sheridan areas, and a little more there as well. So now real quickly, we're going to take a look at each of these threats on the map and talk about them one by one. First, starting off with the damaging wind outlook. As you can see, there's not a whole lot of difference here from what the severe weather outlook looked like. You have that 15%, which is that medium end damaging wind threat there in those yellow colored areas, exactly where that slight risk is at. If we back this up, there's not much of a difference there. As you can see, it's actually the exact same. And then outside of that, you have that 5% brown colored area there for your damaging wind potential there as well. Then taking a look at your large hail outlook, you can see that's not going to be a really big threat with this tomorrow. There's still a small 5% low end large hail threat with this, but the main threat's going to look to be damaging wind gusts and a small tornado threat with this. And you can see that here. We have that green colored area, which is a 2% for most of Arkansas, or southwest Arkansas and southern Arkansas there. And then around the Arklatex region for about just south of DeQueen, down there for Ashdown, Foreman, Hope, just south of Nashville, Prescott, El Dorado, Magnolia, Texarkana, you have that brown 5% lower end tornado threat there as well. It's still on the low side of things, but we still need to stay aware. There's still a chance for tornadoes. It may be just a little less, but it's still worth mentioning. Most of your tornado threats do occur with those 2 to 5% areas. Usually it starts to get to be a little bit of a more serious ordeal when we're talking about like a 10%, like a medium in a medium severe weather or tornado threat or something of that nature. But these can still produce some tornadoes. Just remember that as we move forward. So here now we're going to take a look at the more regional wide look at the severe weather outlook. And as you can see, this goes for not only just Arkansas, but really across eastern Texas, most of Louisiana there as well for that slight risk, that yellow colored area. And some of the cities in that include the Dallas area, the Tyler, Texas area, Waco, College Station, the Woodlands, Houston, and a few other areas there. And in Louisiana, Shreveport, Monroe there as well. Then outside of that, you have that green colored marginal risk, which does include Fort Smith, Little Rock, Pine Bluff, Baton Rouge, down there to Austin, Fort Worth, McKinney, Texas, and southeastern portions of Oklahoma. When we take a look at these severe weather threats a little more by each little area here, the potential threats, we're going to start off first with the tornado outlook. And you can see more of a broader, wide area of a 5% in that brown colored area for that tornado chance. Now, the stronger tornado potential looks to be in eastern Texas. We still have a tornado potential there as well here in southwest Arkansas, but we can't rule out the possibility down there, definitely in eastern Texas, for a few stronger tornadoes, that's EF2 or stronger potentially, if conditions are right. This is your damaging wind outlook. You can see pretty much where that slight risk is at. That's where that damaging wind potential is at. Then your large hail potential as well. That's a little higher down there in eastern Texas. So now real quickly, we're going to go over what the pattern looks like and what we could potentially see out of that here with this. So give me 1 second here. Let me switch over to that. And what you're seeing here is the 500 millibar level winds, and this is the model guidance. Once again, this is the HRRR model. So remember, it's not exactly going to be, the model guidance is one of the many tools we use to build a forecast, not the only tool, and it helps us build the pieces to build a forecast. Once again, though, this shows you what we could potentially see tomorrow. The 500 millibar level height is about 13,000 feet up above us in the atmosphere. This is where you get your low pressure systems, your troughs, your high pressure systems, your ridges that you often hear us talk about. This is around 7 p.m. tomorrow, and as you see here, you'll see this little circle here around 580 or 558 there as well. That's a low pressure system right there, and then you see some stronger winds, upper level winds coming out of the southwest over portions of Arkansas down there in eastern Texas. This is going to be one of the things that are going to help drive that severe weather threat. Now, taking a look a little lower at the lower part of the atmosphere, there's still some stronger low level jet down there as well below that, and that'll help us continue that severe weather threat. Some of the things that are going to hurt that severe weather threat, if we look at temperatures, they're not going to be pretty. They're not going to be on the warm side. They are as you go a little further south, but they're going to be in the 50s to about the 60s. Now, we still have a chance of severe weather, but this is going to be some of the things that are really helping limit that just a touch. Temperatures aren't going to be too warm there. Dew points, they're going to be moist in a way, but not exactly where you would like them to be. They're going to be greater down there across the Louisiana, eastern Texas area. And if we move forward, they do try to poke up into far southern Arkansas there as well. So once again, we still have that small tornado or small severe weather threat, but I don't think it's super high. I think it's greater a little further to the south of us and really to the south of us, but we're still going to have to monitor that as we go throughout the day tomorrow there as well. So real quickly, I do want to also show you this. This is your cape or instability. And if we look at this, this is your instability or cape is really what helps your storm fuel. That's what helps get storms off the ground, gets them going really. If you get what I mean there, it's like putting fuel in your car. If you don't have a whole lot of this, you're not going to get anywhere. You're just going to get your regular storms and showers. And if you look at this, there's not a whole lot of cape and instability there. There is some. Now, don't get me wrong, there is some, but it's not high. You want to see these levels a little higher to really get your better severe weather days and such of that nature. And if we look at other models like the North American model, the model we've been looking at throughout this whole thing is the HRRR model. Once again, looking at another model, this one kind of has a little stronger of some instability there, but still not as much as down here in southeast Texas there, as you can see, where you're around 1,500 joules of cape, while up here you're only around 648. Now, once again, this is a model, so we'll have to watch and see what happens as we go throughout the day tomorrow. But once again, doesn't really look like we see a whole lot with this there, as that instability may just stay a little too far south for us to get a really greater severe weather day. We still have a chance of severe weather, but it's not as high as what it could be. And if you take a look at the GFS model, another model, still doesn't have a whole lot there as well. Same thing when you take a look at the European model, still has some there, but not a whole lot. That's one of the factors that's going to really help potentially limit that severe weather threat as we go forward. Now, real quickly, I do want to show you what Futurecast is showing here with the HRRR model and show you what data is showing for that as what we could potentially see as we go throughout the day tomorrow. This starts off at about 6 a.m. You're going to notice throughout the day tomorrow, we're going to see showers, some storms here, southwest Arkansas. Here's more of a regional wide view of that. Now, remember, this is model guidance. It's not going to be exactly what occurs, but it's going to help give us a general idea on what we could potentially see. But this shows rain and showers and storms potentially ongoing throughout the day. And really, as we pick up into the afternoon and evening, we'll start to see, more showers and storms develop off over here in Texas. and that'll kick off the day. And you'll have to, down here, you'll have to watch these storms that get going out by themselves. But what you'll end up having is this line of storms, or this cluster of storms moving towards southern Arkansas, and we'll have to watch these storms out in front of the main line of storms. So we'll have to watch these here if those develop, and we'll have to watch them if they're out ahead of this line here, or a cluster of storms that tries to develop, and then you'll have to watch these that are out by themselves. So there's just many little pieces there that you'll have to watch. Those move through about by that evening time frame tomorrow throughout southwest Arkansas, and then by about 12 a.m. they're out of here. We'll see some rain out of that, and some, once again, a smaller end severe weather threat. There's still a severe weather threat there. We're still going to keep a close eye on it, and we'll still continue to keep you updated with the newest. With any new information, we'll have a forecast, another post on Facebook out throughout the day today, or throughout the evening tonight, and then throughout the day tomorrow as well. We'll have more posts on that severe weather threat there as well. So real quickly, just putting this back on this. Make sure to check us out over on Facebook and here on YouTube. Once again, if we have any new information, we'll make sure to share it with you, and be on the lookout for another video tomorrow. And we'll have the live nonstop severe coverage up on YouTube ready to go. Big thanks to all of our sponsors, and as always, have a good rest of your Wednesday. Merry Christmas to all y'all, and have a good rest of your Wednesday. Thank you guys very much for trusting us right here with your source for all things Southwest Arkansas weather.